Good morning. Welcome to the Barrel Roll Newscast for July 15th, 2017.
Today we're talking Pokemon Go!
We have some Marvel gifted news.
And D23 stuff!
Stay tuned.
Hello, everybody.
Hey. Welcome.
Welcome to the Barrel Roll Newscast.
We're
still
outside.
Still July 15th.
It's still July 15th.
And yes, we're outside.
It is the outdoor cast. Outside, it's fresh. I mean, green screen. I mean,
the real
super,
green screen.
The realest of
green screens.
Yes.
So,
welcome.
I'm Nick.
I'm Tony.
Ross. Chris.
Dun, dun, dun.
I'm back.
Wow, that's not creepy. Hi, I'm back.
Our setup for our last outdoor cast, this monitor was very far away, and we had trouble watching it.
Yes.
Well, because
last time it was the chat. It was the big issue.
We didn't see chat, so I can see chat today.
Right.
So if you do want to send us stuff, go right ahead.
Yes. Discord.
It's up there too.
Yes. Anywhere you want.
Any way you want it.
Yeah, that's exactly what I need. That's exactly the way I need it.
Either who, let's get to this. So Pokemon Go, big event coming up next week.
Yes, so Pokemon Go Fest is actually happening next week. This is the Niantic built event from the ground up, happening in Chicago, Illinois, where essentially tons of people go to this, I think it's called Grant Park in the city, where essentially events are going to happen. And so they pulled the curtains over what's exactly going to happen on the 22nd. And it's actually going to be more of a worldwide event rather than just in Chicago, Illinois. So for individuals who can't actually make it to that event, you're going to still be participating in Pokemon Go Fest in some way, shape, or form. So the big deal is that if you are going to the event in Chicago, your goal is to catch as many different types of Pokemon as you can, because the more different types you catch, the bonuses will unlock worldwide. So if you catch lots of grass Pokemon, you unlock Stardust bonuses. If you catch lots of, I think, fire Pokemon, you unlock candy bonuses for everyone worldwide.
Okay, so question on that then.
Yeah.
What if you have lots of Pokemon already?
No, it's
during the event.
During the event.
During the event, okay.
During the event, and it's going to be from 9 to 6. 9 to 6 is sort of the time frame in which this event is going to take place.
Okay.
So people in the park have that goal. Now, if you're playing worldwide, your goal is to literally catch as much Pokemon as you can, because no discriminating on which types, because the more you catch, the longer you'll extend those bonuses. So the extended Stardust bonus, the extended candy bonus, experience bonus.
To the ledge.
Basically. So that's sort of the first part of the day. The day is actually split into 3 different phases. So the first part is unlocking that, as many of those rewards as possible. The worldwide goal is to unlock the gold mystery challenge, and they haven't really talked about what this mystery challenge is, but apparently it unlocks from 6 to 7, the right amount of time for a raid to happen, which people are thinking it's going to be legendary Pokemon dropping in Pokemon Go.
Yay.
So how this is going to work is, as a worldwide community, we have to unlock that challenge for the people in Grant Park. If the people in Grant Park can complete the mystery challenge within that 6 to 7 hour window, they will unlock that challenge for the worldwide community.
Look at everybody trying to work together.
It is basically one giant community building event on Saturday, whether or not you're going to this event or not. And so the big takeaway is to see if you can get as much Pokemon Go in that day as you can, because you're going to help someone out somewhere.
So Tony might not be here next week.
We'll figure that out.
Or he'll be on his phone the entire time.
We'll figure that out.
There's no Pokemon around.
There's no.
We'll live stream.
That's what I said.
We'll
figure out a way to, like, he doesn't have to cast a screen.
Attach
He can
a
just
camera to him.
Wow, you think that I don't have that much data.
I was just gonna say that's the problem, is the data.
That's a lot of data. I'll figure something out for that day. But either way, go out to your local Pokemon hotspots out there, because on Saturday rather, because that's going to be the day to basically contribute to everyone playing the game, whether in Grant Park or worldwide.
Cool.
Griesba is going to be packed.
I can only imagine. Griesba is one of our big locations here in Pokemon Go that sees a lot of activity, and I think they've actually reduced it a little bit since the start of the game. They've actually moved some of the Pokestops apart, from my understanding.
That's
Good
probably
idea.
a good thing.
Yes, my understanding is they took ones. They've actually added stops, but they've spreaded them apart.
Okay.
I haven't been there for a couple of months because I just go to the legislature. That's sort of my go-to
Easier
spot.
for you.
That's my go-to spot. And so, yeah, no, the local hotspots are going to be jam-packed that day.
Heck
lots
yeah.
of lures are going to go up. Lots of basically, this is their anniversary event as well. The anniversary box is a bad decision to purchase. I would not purchase that at all. It is a lot of money for not a lot of.
I was gonna say it was 1,200 coins.
1,200 coins. You get a couple incubators. You get a couple of raid passes, some max revives, but all of it's basically sticker price on the store. It's not actually.
So
You're not
getting
actually.
a combo deal of
You're
any
not really
kind.
saving much unless you consider buying Ultra Balls a bonus, but you don't have to. You can just spin those out of the stop. Really.
If you get them.
You have to be, I think, level 20 to get
I'm not
Ultra
there
Balls.
yet.
I have a Pikachu and a hat.
So,
A Pichu or a Pikachu?
Pikachu.
another
It was
part of
outside
this,
Graham's.
another part of this event is that they are Pikachu Ash Hat spawns are basically going to be happening for the next 2 weeks, I think.
Yep.
End of 20th of July or something like 25th or 26th or something like that, where Pikachu with Ash's hat from the original series, the Generation 1, will be spawning in the world. The big catch here is that Pichu, the pre-evolved Pokemon of Pikachu, does actually have the hat, but you can't catch him. You have to hatch him out of an egg.
Oh, that, no.
So basically, you need to
I don't walk around.
get a green egg, put it in an incubator, hope to God it's a Pichu, because that's the only way you're going to get that one Pokemon. I got one.
You did.
That's it. That's going to be pretty rare to find. I hope. I don't know.
I think the next step is getting a Squirtle with Misty's hair.
No, I want a Squirtle with Squirtle Squad sunglasses, man.
Squad.
Squirtle Squad sunglasses. That's the next specs. That's the next evolution of this, like Pikachu or Pokemon themed dress up is Squirtle Squad. Squirtle Squad Squirtles. You know how many squirrels we're going to have to catch for that?
Yes.
All of
5.
them. All of them.
2.
I need so many.
Guys, I just leveled up to level 15.
Sick.
I just
Nice.
caught something.
An Apom?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sick. So, hopefully we can unlock this mystery challenge for the rest of the world. Because it's going to happen. If they unlock this mystery challenge from the 6 to 7 period, the people in Grant Ward, the event will be extended another couple days for people to participate in this global mystery challenge.
Well, and it'll happen.
They can't make it impossible to do because there's so much hype going into Pokemon Go Fest
Nice.
that it's just,
I'm looking
yeah,
right
if we don't get this challenge, it's going to be a huge letdown.
And it's just going to show how many people are actually still playing.
Go Fest tickets sold out in 2 minutes.
But that's
Yeah, but it's a hardcore people
Yeah.
going.
So,
Right? That's
so
So it'll be
depends on-
interesting to see worldwide how the rest of it goes, just to
Right.
see who's still playing. Because I mean, I hop on when
Tony talks about it.
Tony talks about it here, or literally last Sunday, I was doing my RPG stuff at Graham's place, and one of the people in the group plays Pokemon Go, and she's just like, if anybody wants the Pikachu with the Ash hat, it's outside right now. So like 3 people got their phones out and were like, and
then,
done.
and then you get the one person's like, I gotta update the phone. I gotta update it. I haven't updated it since X.
So, did you ever Pokemon Go?
No, I did not.
I liked it right at the beginning, just as because you
There's
got
a
to.
fad.
Well,
It
no,
was
but
huge. It's still a bit of a
It was kind of cool because all of a sudden you're walking through your neighborhood and there's like an art piece somewhere that you never knew actually was there. So you go and check it out, and it's like, oh, cool! I never knew that was there because of this game.
Right, like there's things at the legislature that I didn't realize were there.
Yeah.
Until I saw it as more of an art, as a Pokestop.
Yeah.
Or a gym.
But that's what I mean. Like it was cool or that. And I know Niantic does have another program called Field Trip that does the same thing.
So
So you don't catch Pokemon, it just shows you cool crap around your city.
So as a side note as well, their other Niantic's other game, Ingress, they've opened up portal revisions for more players in that game.
Yeah.
The more portals that they unveil, or I guess approve, more Pokestops will be added to Pokemon Go.
Right.
So people playing in the rural environments, they're thinking of you.
Sort of. You have to
Yeah.
now play Ingress.
Well, I mean, a lot of people still play Ingress, and
I
so
know, but now you have to go from playing, because people in rural areas who didn't play Ingress
yeah, it's a tough.
now have to get Ingress
Ingress is actually a tough game to play as well.
to take pictures of a landmark.
It's more the reviewing the submissions that they got. So if you play Ingress, they'll say, hey, there's these portals here that we want you to confirm that actually exist. You're not actually making new portals. You're just saying, yes, this is a portal.
Because I don't
Send
think
it
that's
off
going to help your rural people at all.
They've said that they've added a good like 500,000 Pokestops
Yeah,
since then.
that still doesn't mean it's in Carstairs, Alberta.
All I need is like 2 or 3, right? So
Oh, I know, but then you still need people taking pictures of.
yeah,
those
and who knows?
spots in
And who
Ingress.
knows? Like they've had submissions built up since.
And they do. It's
since
just that's my thing with the rural
pre-Pokemon
communities
Go.
is people actually have to be like, I submit this, click.
Yep. And you know, Ingress
Through a
players
completely different game.
and Ingress players are pretty dedicated to go that extra mile for.
Oh yeah,
portals,
they're
so,
nuts.
I mean,
Which is why
it's
most Pokestops were churches, because that became a thing for a while, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've actually implemented a feature in Pokemon Go which turns off Pokestops,
Yep.
in I guess parks after hours. You can't actually spin them.
Well,
So I think that's a cool thing. I think.
well, and like a necessity because it was getting stupid.
Got
Like
work.
even in this city,
Harlech
the amount
Park-
of people that
Harlech
were-
Park was bad.
Yeah.
Legislature was Ledge is a little bit easier to maintain because people just walk through it all the time.
I was
so-
gonna say it's just an open space, but when
But,
you all
like-
of a sudden it's a park,
Yes, Heritage Park or
any of
rural-
them, and people are like, all of a sudden security's going through, like, can you please leave the park? It's closed.
It's 11. Like
it's,
parks are
it's
closed.
2 a.m. Get out.
Right.
Because the only people that should be here at 2 a.m. are the homeless people and the like.
You're
you know,
clearly
the
not.
people who were trying to actually catch, not you crazy people walking
Yeah.
through the woods with your
Your zombie phone.
phone.
So it's cool that they're implementing that. I mean,
Yep.
and again, moving Pokestops around, like shifting them around so that they're not so congregated anymore.
Yeah.
So looking
Cool.
forward to that next week. I'll make some plans for that somehow.
Wop, wop, wop. Yeah, you'll figure it
Somehow
out.
I'll do something. I feel like I should contribute at least a little bit to.
Well, yeah. You play it so much.
I mean, I was just at the legislature and I turned it all blue one night, and I was like, well, screw you, gyms. So the ledge is now was filled with like 6-level gyms, all filled with Pokemon, because I just spent like an hour walking around beating them all down.
Cool.
So that's the Pokemon Go minute. Go out next week. They're also
Take part.
they're also doing Pokemon Go Safari events in Europe as well, and other places around the city or the world. I think the Japan's got a Pikachu outbreak event going on. I think end of this month, where in certain malls in Japan, they will replace all the spawns with Pikachu.
Well, I know McDonald's has a Pikachu thing going on right now over there.
Mm-hmm.
You can get a Pikachu McFlurry.
Yep, I can believe that. It's probably lemon flavored or something like
Banana.
that.
Banana and chocolate McFlurry or something like that.
I get that. If not just for the reason of saying I got a Pikachu McFlurry.
And that's pretty much, there was a guy on Reddit the other day who's like, I left Japan yesterday, but before I left, I stopped at McDonald's and got one, and it's got Pikachu on the cup and every, like,
Totally worth it.
and I'm just like, all right.
And
Those
knowing
Japanese with their weird ass.
And knowing Japan, they probably made a special spoon for that with like a little Pikachu tail on the top of it. And
Oh, Japan.
I'd get it. Hands down.
You?
Surprised. Surprising.
I wouldn't, but I don't like bananas.
I can't eat them.
I would.
I'd take
Now I'm
I'd take one for my I'd take one for my body if I could.
Take it for the...
With it.
Yeah,
With it.
no, not worth it.
With it. So that's my update for Pokemon Go.
Cool.
Lots of stuff happening for the anniversary event. People were kind of worried that they weren't going to do anything, but they are. Niantic is doing something for the anniversary because it came on the
Never fret.
7th of July, so
Okay.
it's been 1 year and a bit. Next,
Next up,
move on.
the gifted casting. Now, actor-wise, there's no one big joining this cast as far as we know.
No, I
now.
don't think so.
For now.
It was more just some cool character reveals, because this is based off of the Mutant X-Men
Yeah, it's
universe of stuff.
from what I was reading yesterday. Anyway, it's supposed to exist in the same cinematic universe as the X-Men movie franchise, but everything's happening completely separately. So what they're trying to do is make everything in the movies not affect the show, and vice versa. So, you're experiencing more of the universe without actually having to have impact with continuity. But
Which, I mean, in the X-Men movies at this point,
There's so much stuff happening in those
cares?
movies.
to be
we've
fair,
gone
though,
back
I
in
mean,
time, we've got 2 parallel universes going on.
We've got movies that don't exist anymore.
but to be fair, look at the X-Men storylines,
Oh, for
especially
sure.
when you start looking at Dark Phoenix Saga and Inferno. As soon as it revolves around Dark Phoenix and Madeline Pryor and Jean Grey, it's so convoluted and full of retcons that who even knows what actually is happening. I'm pretty sure that I think there's comic book sites that are just fans just ignore this because no one knows
Yeah, we
what's
give up.
actually supposed to be
Yeah.
canon. But yes, they are. The main cast of characters are the Strucker family, and I think that they've just been invented for the show.
Oh, yeah.
But they've got supporting cast of Blink, Polaris, and Thunderbird. So it'll be cool to see them on screen. It'll be.
We've seen Blink, though. Blink was in Days of Future Past, wasn't she?
She was in Days of Future Past, different actress playing.
Yeah.
Obviously, yeah.
But
They've changed actresses before on stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, Kitty Pryde all of a sudden became Ellen Page
yeah,
after 2 different actresses in the other
yeah,
2
she's,
movies.
she's been 3 different actresses.
Yeah.
Who knows when we'll see the 4th? I don't know. Maybe this new movie.
We've got at least 2 Jean Greys now. The only one who hasn't changed is Wolverine, which he's going to change soon. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, for me with the gifted cast, I'm a little curious as to why they decided to pick make the main cast of characters completely new characters instead of building off of some minor character who has shown up in the comics. There's been so many X-Men comics over the years that why not just pick a lesser known character and actually tie it in some way?
Jubilee. Maybe we'll actually get a Jubilee.
Well, or you could even pick some of the young Avengers Anol or Soraya, or sorry, not young Avengers, young X-Men that won't necessarily ever make it on screen.
sure.
And there'd just be that little bit of an extra reason for the fans to care about that character because they've actually read a little bit with them. But
So in terms of
I don't know.
story and continuity wise, what's the story in The Gifted? What is the sort of the premise of this show? I haven't even followed it.
Mutants.
yeah, the premise,
Mutants, X-Men.
The premise is that mutants are feared, and the Strucker family, one of the children, her mutant powers manifest, and so the family's on the run now, just trying to hide their daughter and make it so that the government and Sentinels don't find her.
So the Sentinels exist in this.
Yes.
In some form or way, will exist in this show.
Yes, from
Giant Sentinels or.
don't know. I haven't heard specifics on the Sentinels. What I did read was that the Sentinels will be different from how they've appeared in the movies so far.
Only because they can't afford
Probably.
Special effects.
the
What
special effects
kind of
it.
different that is, I don't know. I haven't
Maybe
seen
even
concept
looking
art.
Maybe I was just gonna say T1000.
T1000s or
Maybe.
looking like stuff. Maybe.
You know what? And I'd honestly be okay with, because there's ways of doing giant monster without actually showing giant monster. Cloverfield did a pretty good job of it until halfway through that movie.
Or Super 8 too.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. There's a good way of doing it where you don't need a lot of CGI to just have a sentinel eye looking through a building sort of thing,
Yeah.
without
And
actually
as long as
showing
you
the giant robot.
and as long as you let the audience know this is a giant robot, this is a Sentinel, they hunt mutants.
Yep.
End of story. It's not just a random.
And
CG
it honestly
robot.
becomes a scarier something when
You
you
don't
don't
know.
see it.
Yeah.
Because it's what's it doing? All of a sudden, you just have laser fire through a building or something,
Or
and
it's
they're just running.
it punches the building, but all you see is really an explosion from inside the building.
And then save up your money for that season finale where they face off against a Sentinel, and it's a pain in the ass. That's their big kind of final fight for the season.
Well, I always found that it's had more effect as well. I mean, look at the first Alien movie. You don't get to see the entire Alien until the end of the movie. It's a big reveal then. But, you know, it starts with just close-up of the face, close-up on the tail, you know, quick shot of it jumping out in the vents. It has more effect, in my opinion, when you're not showing the whole thing, when there's still a sense of mystery of what is this. Same thing with Super 8. Like, it's not it's been a while since I've seen the movie, but I don't remember if they ever show the whole creature in Super 8.
It's been a while for me.
If they do, it's got to be at least 2/3 into the movie.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Like, I think, and that's a good way of doing it without, because I mean that's where Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. ran into problems with Ghost Rider. I mean, that's where the first Ghost Rider movie ran into problems with Ghost Rider, was that Flaming Skull costs $1 bajillion to do.
Gee, I wonder why.
All of the fight scenes last 20 seconds because they can't afford to put in the CGI for a long fight.
Until they finally, in the second one, actually had the CGI down, and then just made a terrible film.
Yeah.
Which I knew I still saw that one coming from a mile away when they're like, we're taking parts from different Ghost Rider stories and putting them all together with our own twist on stuff. And I'm like,
that's nice. Nope.
And hiring the director of Crank. Director? I can't remember if it was two of them. I think there were two of them.
I believe there were two. That was an unfortunate mistake.
Yeah.
Because after the first one wasn't actually a bad movie. It just suffered from budget problems.
Yeah. Like, it wasn't a terrible movie. It just wasn't a good movie.
Yeah.
Also, Nicolas Cage is Ghost Rider.
He was all right in the first one.
Yep.
In the second one, he just went, like,
balls to the walls.
Yeah.
Well, but that's because they told
crazy.
him to.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, you're like, what happened? Like, in the first movie, you were a serious guy who,
Johnny.
you know.
Yeah.
I mean, he's still
Look into
playing
my
Nicolas
eyes.
Cage,
Yeah.
but
Never try
Bees.
never go
Bees.
full Cage.
Bees. They're everywhere. So, New Mutant, or The Gifted, not the New Mutants.
So Polaris, Thunderbird, and Blink have all been confirmed to be at least.
I thought we had a trailer
supporting
for
characters.
this show already.
No,
I
they're
thought there was
showing little character, like,
I thought there was a trailer.
close-ins of the character.
Yeah, I didn't watch
That's
those
all they
yet.
did. That's all it is.
Yeah.
This is the character. Here's the name, and it's the camera zooming in on them, and they look at the camera.
Okay.
That's it.
I thought that was a bigger one, but
No.
maybe that was
That's
something
all
else.
they are.
See, and like you said, I think, and even not a smaller person, but just even Cyclops showing up at some point or something stupid. Like, throw in some X-Men.
Well, you can do it without throwing in the X-Men that are already like in the movies.
'Cause this is supposed to take place.
If you do want to keep the separation between them, you can do it
Yeah.
without. But
I think
don't
though,
know.
like in terms of the public eye, from a comic book person's perspective, yeah, we know those characters. But when you ask the average old Joe, they're gonna say like, "Hey, oh, were they in any of the movies?" No. It's gonna be like they're gonna need to have a hook. Right?
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna have to name drop someone or
Oh yeah, name drops for sure.
Name drops, obviously.
name drops, and like it's just hey, that again, there's Cyclops, or even if they're ballsy enough, hey, there's we got Patrick Stewart from this like one scene.
Nope, he retired. And I can't see him coming back for TV.
No, but like something to that effect, like someone that the audience, like the
Because when is
average
this?
public.
The Gift is supposed to take place like now, so it's not in our Jennifer Lawrence era, but the
I'm not sure exactly when.
Rebecca Romaine.
I think so.
Because that's
One
always
of the
the question too.
universes.
It's like, which universe are we sitting in right now? Because that's the other question with all of this too. Because if you base it with the younger X-Men, you can bring in like those characters that were in the last X-Men movie because they were younger and that kind of stuff, and you can kind of play that game. But
even show a shot of like maybe even the mansion.
oh sure, don't
Somewhere
tell me
like
they
it-
don't have enough aerial shots of that sucker,
They've only rebuilt it how many times?
and they'll just film some more. They can film some more because they're in there for Deadpool 2.
Yeah.
So they were in there for Deadpool 2 a while ago.
I think they might be done. Yeah, Deadpool.
You know what? In all honesty, Ryan Reynolds would be the person to have show up.
And it's just Ryan Reynolds, not Wade. What
Well,
Ryan
but it could,
Reynolds?
like, that's what I mean. Like, have Ryan, because he'd do it. Mm-hmm. The guy's done, if you watch, I think it's Honest trailers.
He's done 2 of them now.
He's
Yeah,
done his own
he's done
honest
As
two.
trailer.
Deadpool.
Yeah.
He did Deadpool
He did
and
his-
Logan.
Yeah,
Like,
he
that's
did.
what, like, if you call him and go, we need Deadpool for this, he's pretty much like, I'll be right there.
Yeah.
I'm already in the suit.
Yeah, he just wears it
Because he stole
constantly.
a suit.
Yes,
And
yes.
he was one of the major people in that movie. It's not really stealing when it's your money being put into the show.
Yeah.
I feel like he went, here's an extra $1,000.
Yeah.
Make another one.
Yeah.
Well,
For my own personal use. Thank you very much.
I want to run around at home.
Well, but in all honesty, if I'm like Tom Holland, because you can't do it as Tony Stark. It's not an actual costume anymore.
no.
But like anybody
Also
who actually
kinda
gets
chunky.
but anybody who actually gets a costume, I'm taking part of
This
that paycheck
happens.
from that movie and just being like, can you guys make another one?
Yeah.
Stupendous.
Vision,
I will sign a contract that says I can't wear this in specific places, but like,
the Black Panther suit.
But like, can I just wear it at home
Yeah.
while watching football?
right.
I'll play video games and I'll watch myself in this movie wearing the same suit.
Especially doing like the Spider-Man Homecoming thing where he's like, I am Thor, son of Odin, like in the mirror.
You'd do that.
I would
yeah.
just do that, yeah. Except I'm like, I'm Spider-Man.
Watch myself in the movie wearing the suit that I wore in the movie. So meta.
Spoilers.
So meta.
Oh my god. So yeah.
So New Mutants or The Gifted. Sorry, I keep getting mixed up. There's so much mutant stuff coming out.
3 movies in
Yes, Blue
2018.
Lava, we all saw Spider-Man.
Have you seen Spider-Man?
Yes, I
Okay,
have.
good. Just checking. I know he just got in town recently. So.
We went the first day.
I saw it the first day.
Oh, you saw it again with
Sure.
I
Brian.
went with him, and then I went with Brian.
Ah, okay,
I
gotcha.
saw it twice.
Fair enough. I'm
Same
approaching.
day?
Yeah.
Nice. That's dedication.
I'm approaching
Well,
my.
that was he couldn't make it, and you were saying Sunday, so I'm like Brian, like because I knew Brian was available Friday night, so I'm like Brian, let's go see Spider-Man. And then all of a sudden he texts me, he's like Friday like morning, and I'm like, okay.
You're free.
I forget what ended up opening up on my Friday night, but yeah, I ended up seeing it
I know,
Friday
and then you
night
saw it,
anyway.
which was perfect because then we got to talk about it last week. But yeah, it was just like, sure, I'll keep going to see Spider-Man. Then we run into Tony at the theater because they were going to the show after Brian and I.
Spider-Man took everything. Took all of our time.
I still wanted Spider-Man cups.
I wanted Spider-Man cup
Goggles.
topper.
3D.
Goggles
Yeah,
would've been
right?
Nice.
What a missed
3D
opportunity.
Yeah, I would have bought those.
You would've- Build your own suit.
I've
Homemade
got the
suit.
hoodie coming.
Get your homemade Spider-Man suit.
I've got the hoodie coming from one of those like knockoff places.
So yeah,
The Gifted.
Fun.
I probably will not be watching.
I don't think so.
I really should try Legion.
I've heard that it's good.
I've heard
and
good
that's,
things.
That's the big reason I do want to try it. Plus, I read yesterday that it's only 8 episodes long, so it's not that
Yeah,
big.
yeah.
of a
It
commitment.
started half season.
Yeah.
But I
So-
just started Supernatural again.
You have summer.
Here's how
That's why I
Supernatural
started
works.
Supernatural again.
Both Sam and Deem argue about something.
Yep.
Castiel says something like,
Castiel's not in it yet.
"Oh,
Yeah,
well, then
jeez.
why are you watching those?"
Because
You're
it's great when Castiel first shows up.
Castiel says something, and then he doesn't realize it's offending the brothers, or says something stupid.
I learned this from the Pizza Man.
I'll be surprised if I watch The Gifted. I mean, it'd be cool to see Polaris and Thunderbird on screen, but I don't care about the Strucker family. They have no basis in the comics. I don't know who they are.
See, my biggest thing is like, and I mean, I have cable. I still pay for cable. I'm one of those people.
Because of hockey.
Mostly because of hockey and the Food Network and HGTV. If we could just get those channels, I'd be good.
I'd follow suit.
But I don't know. It's one of those things where certain shows come on, and I'm like, oh yeah, and I catch it like at the tail end of it,
Yeah.
and I'm like, well, now I'm screwed because now I have to go download all of them if I want to like watch them. Da 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 da.
PVR.
And if I can PVR, then I can like if I know it's coming and I remember it's coming, then yeah, PVR right off the bat.
That's what I exclusively do. What
Yeah.
you do,
But because that's
Oh,
what
I
we
never said
normally
I'd do it.
I do it.
because that's what we
I
normally
do it.
Like The Good Place started with Kristen Bell, so that was a pretty good show because it was by the creators of Brooklyn Nine-Nine and some of like their stuff.
That's a
I
good
like
show.
Brooklyn
So it's
That's
about,
a good show.
It's about Kristen Bell's character dies and ends up in the good place by accident. She was actually supposed to go to the bad place. So then all these things start happening because she's not actually supposed to be in the good place. So it's screwing everything up. It's actually a pretty funny show. And Ted Danson is like the creator of the good, like this particular good place.
Okay.
And everybody around her has done like super good things. She's like just a horrible, horrible human being. And then there's a character in there who's trying to teach her morals. But either way, good show. And my wife knew it was coming on because she follows Kristen Bell, so she's like, okay, PVR. So yeah, we watched all of those. Same with Quantico. They are PVR.
Yes.
I don't PVR things. My wife does, which means the Gifted will never, ever get PVR.
No.
Yes.
Because that's not up her alley.
No, and you need, if there's a phone app for it, maybe.
There is, again.
Oh,
that involves me logging in and pressing buttons and finding things.
Yeah, that's a lot more work.
As opposed to Netflix where I can like hit a button and
It's there.
it's
Yes,
there.
on, go.
Yeah.
That's where like, okay, so Shaw in our town, Shaw in Canada, I guess, is their new Blue Sky TV or whatever it is. You can talk to the remote, and I'm like, that's stupid. But I would actually probably get more done on my cable, like by sitting there going like, can you PVR this show? Because the guides are so stupid to work your way through.
You get used to them.
You do.
I think it's just because we're all in an age where everything's with the touch of our phone.
Yep.
It's a lot easier to use your phone rather than a buttoned
So
remote.
lazy?
Yes. Yes,
And I'm
exactly.
okay with admitting that I am lazy because technology has made it so I can like go on Netflix and be like, there's Supernatural, click, and it's playing.
One button, two button, go.
2 buttons because I have to activate my Chromecast. And then I have to press the button to start my...
I'll see all my Netflix goes through my PS4. So,
Yep.
And phone.
and arguably I can use my Netflix app on my phone to control my PS4's Netflix anyway.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we can
really,
do that with the smart TV too.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it's... So yeah, the Gifted, if I remember, maybe.
eh,
Or if it's on the DVR, like the digital, like on-demand stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's how we've watched some shows all of a sudden. It's like, well, we should try watching this one.
I've got a backlog of like 40 shows I have
Yeah.
to watch.
Well,
And
my
the,
wife-
the Gifted is just not on the list.
My wife and I
now.
even jumped into that Kevin Can Wait show with Kevin James, only because they've done something I've never seen done in like a sitcom before. Because it's Kevin James being Kevin James.
Yeah,
Married to this lady, and they have 2 kids.
pretty standard.
Standard
Standard
sitcom.
sitcom.
They fired the wife.
What?
wait.
So season 2, coming out in the fall,
Yeah.
he has no wife.
Oh,
She died.
And you know who they're bringing in as the new lead female?
Hmm.
The lady from King of Queens.
Oh,
Oh God.
so that's
so
what
it's
you're
just
gonna
gonna
get.
turn into King of Queens too.
Well, no one's sure because they're like, well, are they? Because in the show they brought her in as a guest star because
Yeah.
he's an ex-cop
Okay.
and she used to be his partner.
Okay.
So that's how they brought her into the show. Was
Okay.
like she used to work with
Yeah.
him.
Yep.
So everybody's like, are they gonna just start season 2 and they're just gonna be married and we're supposed to pretend like season 1 never happened, or
No, they're not
is he
gonna
gonna
do
get-
that. There's gonna be progression.
Well, and so like I'm sitting there going, I'm
Their mom
assuming he's
died.
going to get like a
died.
divorce, or she's going to kind of passed away,
Mm-hmm.
and she's like going to come in as like the comforting, like, you know, we've been
They're
friends
do-
for so many years because we've been
They're
partners.
gonna do the Charlie Sheen thing.
Yeah, because
Died-
one of his
died
other
in the
partners
train.
was like every partner he's had essentially is some like a guest star. So Adam Sandler was on an episode as one of his old partners,
Okay.
but Leah Remy's going to be on the show now as the new lead, and it came out of nowhere because it's not like they ended the show with the wife getting hit by a car or something.
Mm-hmm.
They just ended season 1 like any
She
other
suddenly
sitcom.
passed away.
Well, I
Suddenly
know,
moved to
but
a different city and then
I've
passed away.
never seen that done in a sitcom where they're like, you know, goodbye female role model or female lead after 1 season with no impact. Like, at least when you kill someone off of a other sitcom, it was after it's been on for so long and someone's retiring, or it'll have like weight to it. This one's just like, and she's gone.
Yeah.
Meh.
And
Bold.
I'm assuming
That's-
she dies because it's not like they're going to get her back as a guest star.
That's
No,
a
she
bold.
wouldn't want to come back.
Exactly. So you can't bank
It's a
on
bold
her
move,
coming
Cotton.
back.
Let's see if it works out
Let's
for
see if
them.
it pays off. And apparently they did it because Leah Remy's guest starring role actually had more chemistry and more pop than the entire first season.
Interesting.
So just rehash King.
It's just King of Queens again.
Except they won't be married, which is like there's a different
For
dynamic.
now.
For now.
They'll get together.
I bet you it'll be that teasing. Will they be together?
Will they? Won't they? Like every other show.
Yeah.
Oh god.
And then eventually they will, and then they'll get married, and then you got King of Queens.
I have to give credits to.
Maybe
If
it
you-
secretly
if
is
you
King
add-
of Queens.
If you add that the father in that show,
Jerry Stiller.
yeah, you just—it's a lead-in. You can say that this is the show that
It could
led into
it could secretly
So he
just
went
be.
he retired from being a police officer and became a UPS driver.
Yes, it-
Yes.
That's unfortunate. That's a big step down.
That's a downgrade.
But he got a lot younger.
He did.
plastic
I have to
surgery.
give credit to like a show like Bones, where they actually got the characters together in season 5 or 6, and they got married and had kids and actually stayed together as a couple, and they kept the show going till like season 10.
Yeah, I think it's done now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, they finally finished. Like, it was a good wrap up. I enjoyed the finish to like bones.
Yeah.
But they never did like we're getting separated and divorced and this and that and everything. They were just
They didn't skirt around like Castle did. Cause
Castle did a horrible job of that. They finally got together, and then all of a sudden it was like,
Nope.
it's like, we can't be together anymore. And you're like, oh, for the love of God. And then he spends the season, why can't we be together? And you're like, this is horrible writing.
I don't know about when that happened. I think I stopped watching after season 6. And it's not because I stopped liking the show.
Just kind of fell off radar.
It's one of those ones where it's like, there's other shows that are more important,
Yep.
and
It's
I
like-
just never got around to it. And it's
Is
been
it-
so long now that it's like, I don't care anymore.
Don't.
Is it possible that each episode didn't really have that much weight to them? Like,
Oh, guaranteed.
So like it's
Castle was just a fun show to watch,
Yeah.
mostly because Nathan Fillion, like, and even Stana, I think her name was, the other, like, the lead lady, like, she was fun to watch too.
Mhm.
Like, they both, like, they were good.
It was an enjoyable show. It's
Yep.
just,
Yeah, there's nothing, and then
there's no impact with it.
and things started getting pretty kooky with some of the stories, like where they stopped a like terror threat in New York City, and you're just going like, what?
Why them?
Right? Like, this is a job for Quantico. See, now do a tie-in show, and you've got yourself a show.
different networks.
Who cares? They all intermingle now. It's fine.
God knows Quantico needs the help. That show's
got
gone
weird.
so bad.
The Gift is basically a prequel to Days of Future Past, according to Jamie Chung, who plays Blink.
Okay, neat,
Thank you,
sweet.
Saheed.
Facts checking. Thank you.
Days
So
of-
prequel to Days of Future Past. So this would take place in the
old timeline.
late 60s, early 70s.
See, so you can bring in some of the
The younger actors
younger actors.
for a one screen appearance or something like that. One shot cameo appearance.
Ah,
Deadpool.
yes.
Deadpool.
Either that
It
or
didn't exist back then.
either that or it's a
Sure it
prequel
did.
to
Ryan Wade
the-
Wilson existed, not
Other
late-
part of Days
the
of
other
Future
part
Past.
of Days of Future
He
Past.
comes in with cable.
Cable.
comes in with cable.
Oh God, that's part of that four movie franchise thing. Is like a weird
We've
TV
got-
spot.
I guess
It's like, damn it, Wade, we went too far. What are you talking about?
This is exactly where I want to be.
I guess trying to base this off of Days of Future Past doesn't work when that movie has two different
timelines?
timelines
It's a
in
tough.
very different time
Well, if you're being
periods.
hunted by sentinels, that kind of fits in
Ties
with
in with
the future portion.
part of it,
Yeah.
which
Well,
again would be cool. But
we'll have-
again,
I guess we'll have to
find a
wait and
smaller
see.
Actor.
Well, and it would still kind of fit in with it being taking place more or less now.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Just a more dystopian now.
Just,
yeah.
well, and it doesn't have to get dystopian until season 5.
If it lasts that long.
If it, I doubt it, but just do an epilogue thing like they did on Dollhouse.
Hey, they actually managed to wrap that up fairly well.
They did an awesome job of that.
Like, it felt
I
real
wanted
good.
more of that Dollhouse.
I just wanted more Dollhouse.
Nope.
I wanted more Dollhouse.
Actually, once Elijah Dushku didn't have to play like
Her action-y roles. Yeah.
no the non-actiony roles.
I didn't mind her non-action roles.
Ugh. When she had to be like a crisis negotiator or whatever, I'm just like no. This-
Okay, I didn't like her as a mom. The mother character was just bad.
When she was just herself, with all of the knowledge of everybody else, I'm like, that's the ticket.
Yes. Yeah.
Because Elijah Dushku cannot act. She can play
tried.
Elijah Dushku.
She tried.
She did. She can play Faith. Because that's pretty much her in everything she's done.
Yeah, that's true.
Not that she's done too much.
Cool.
No, we're good. I'm just rotating
Cool.
for you.
All
Trying
right.
to keep you in the shadow.
Moving on.
Yes.
Then moving on.
Last bit.
Wow.
It's,
Sort of the bigger
it's based
one.
on the future portion. Look,
There we
Saheed's-
go.
Saheed is being super helpful.
Fact checking.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yes. It's always nice when we don't have to do the fact checking. D.
All right, D23 is the big piece this weekend.
Somewhat big piece. There's not
Very
much has been
large.
revealed right now.
Right now, yeah, something could actually have happened right now. And we don't know. We get live fact checked. So D23.
I have stuff open.
So D23, for those who aren't in the know, it's sort of Disney's biannual, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
believe so.
biannual event where they talk about all the upcoming movie projects, upcoming panels, lots of displays of sort of what they're doing from here on in for the next 2 years. Sort of like a Comic-Con, but just exclusively for Disney.
And
Disney
also,
stuff.
just as you said, every 2 years instead of every year.
Yeah. So they hold everything together. That's the Thanos.
Nice.
That looks good, right?
And
So-
then there are the 4 covered ones.
Okay.
So, of course, being Disney, they talk about a lot of their upcoming animated movies. That's what we have so far.
Yes.
They've talked about Wreck-It Ralph 2. They've talked about Incredibles 2. They talked about the new director for Toy Story 4.
Yep.
They even announced a new Cars-themed movie coming out as well.
No, it was a spin-off.
It's a spin-off.
It's in space.
Yeah, spin-off
Yeah,
Cars.
one of the Disney Toon movies,
Yeah, so,
which is their straight-to-DVD
yeah,
section.
yeah. But it'll be in the Cars vein, in the Cars-themed stuff. Maybe
Well, planes.
planes. I don't.
But it'll be space
Yeah.
shuttle stuff.
Sure.
It's because they just didn't want to do trains.
UFOs.
What a cop-out.
UFOs.
They've done planes. They've done
suck.
automobiles. Trains.
Or boats.
No, planes, trains, and automobiles. It's the actual, like, there's a movie that's
I
planes,
know
trains.
that- I
so you
know.
gotta do
You
trains.
don't.
Get the
You do
Cars
both.
That would
trilogy.
be very limiting. They run on a track.
Okay, Thomas the Train Engine has been doing it for like 20 years. I'm sure Disney and Pixar could.
That's
pull
okay.
off an
He's
actual, like,
but he's all just a one-track mind though.
get out.
Okay. So what I'm really excited for is for Incredibles 2 is basically it takes place right after
after.
the first one ended, and on top of that, other than Dash,
Yeah.
all the characters and all the actors are back for their roles. Obviously, Dash they can't get anymore.
Oh, no, because of the voice change.
Yes,
They didn't
that makes
They
sense.
just didn't want to
that
randomly, hey, Dash, voice
we need
change.
you to be younger.
Okay.
That's a testament to how long Incredibles 2 has been waiting anticipation for.
But you know what? Honestly, with Pixar,
They take
I'd
them.
rather them wait
Oh yeah, that's totally
and find the right movie to do and then do it. 'Cause
I-
we've seen that problem with something like The Good Dinosaur, where Disney was like, "Here's a concept, let's make movie. It's not working. Switch it up. Switch it up. Switch it up." And we got The Good Dinosaur.
You mean Lion King?
Yes. Because that's exactly what that movie pretty much is. So,
So yeah, Incredibles 2 takes place right after. I think that's super cool.
Yep.
I'm just way more excited, and the fact that Brad Bird,
Holden
well,
will be the villain?
maybe we don't know. That they might.
Whoever that guy was.
That might be the opening act,
Yeah.
right? That could totally be the opening act of the sequel. Brad Bird, I'm excited that he's back on board with it. Like, I can't imagine anyone else doing it other than he messed up Tomorrowland real hard, I think, but.
Never seen it.
You're
neither.
not missing out. I think it's a movie too ahead of its time.
Tomorrowland was a good concept that was poorly executed.
Yeah, it was too far ahead of its time. I think it still kind of is.
Because I didn't.
It talks a lot about time travel and a lot of like theoretical physics and stuff like that. A lot of I don't know. I don't even know how to explain it. It was just
I didn't mind it. Like I said, it was a good concept. It's just.
the acting in it was actually pretty good.
Oh yeah,
The
everybody
acting,
in it was good.
yeah, it was a well
George
cast.
Clooney killed it.
Yes, George Clooney and the girl.
They didn't use Hugh Laurie properly.
They didn't use him enough.
That was yeah. 'cause
They
he's
didn't
the-
use him.
Like he's one of like the overlord type people.
He's sort
Okay.
And they
not
just
the
didn't-
villain, but like the
Main antagonist,
main
yeah.
antagonist. Like it, but
and
they
they just
didn't.
didn't use him properly. It's like Hugh Laurie can get way more. Like,
Yes.
If you've ever seen House, it's like you know how
Have you seen him in
deep
anything?
he can get.
Anything else basically than that movie?
Yeah, what
So,
House?
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, anything else he's done, like he's done,
Yeah.
he's
Oh
killer.
yeah. Well, and I mean he can go all over the place because he does comedy like nobody's business. And I
Right.
still need to see The Night Manager with him and Tom Hiddleston.
I really want to watch that.
I have it. It's on my Google Play. Like I bought it, going like I'm gonna watch this on a plane ride, and I never did. So it's still sitting there, and I'm like, I must be awake to watch this because yeah, that sounds like
Well, I just watched the trailer for it,
Yep.
and
I have to see this trailer.
Hugh Laurie in the trailer sold me
Yeah.
immediately.
I have to see
I
this.
love Hugh
Like,
Laurie.
I like Tom Hiddleston
Me
quite
too.
a bit.
Oh, that's
but
right. Like as
so
soon
it
as
was
I
like,
heard that
oh,
they were in a show together.
That's awesome. And then it was Hugh Laurie. No, he's gonna steal this show.
Yeah.
100%.
Well, and honestly, if the two of them are competing to steal the show, only good things can happen.
Yeah.
So the other big piece is unveiling Wreck-It Ralph 2. as-
Breaks the internet.
Oh, movie-wise, yes.
Movie-
Yes,
yeah.
movie-wise, there's lots
There's
of info.
lots of I think they actually have a date now for Wreck-It Ralph 2, which is summer next year.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not surprising.
That's
Which
not
yeah,
surprising.
they've been working on it for quite some time now. But they are going full meta with this movie. They're putting in Disney princesses, they're putting in Marvel characters, they're putting in Star Wars characters, and I think that they should. This is the movie to do that properly.
Yeah.
If they're going to mash those things in one movie.
Well, then I mean, he's on the internet now. How he gets to the internet still kind of confuses me, but
Well,
We'll
I
see.
mean, same concept of the power hub too.
I guess
It's no different.
they finally get Wi-Fi at the arcade.
Yes. No, someone finally plugged in the LAN cable somewhere.
Or they
Zap.
turned it into a computer cafe.
Emulator.
Oh, maybe.
I could
then
see
it's
it.
not
I
the
can see.
same
I could see it being turned into a computer cafe, and then the Wreck-It Ralph machine's just gathering dust on the side, and he's like, "I need to do something with what are the kids into nowadays?" And
They
so-
all just escaped into the Wreck-It Ralph machine. Like all of the characters are just sitting there, like, "What do we do, guys?"
Yeah.
Well, the emulator doesn't sound bad either because it
Well,
put a game in there, but
Yeah.
you would go be able to expand farther.
yeah, exactly. How many
Yeah.
classic games from our childhood can you
Yeah.
play on computers now
Every
because of
one.
emulators? All of them. So it makes sense that Wreck-It Ralph is
Yeah.
in there for that reason too.
So we'll find out next year. I guess obviously a trailer will drop between
I was
now
gonna
and
say
then.
we'll get a trailer hopefully before.
Now
then.
between now and then.
Yeah.
Looking forward to really those two, Wreck-It Ralph 2 and
Incredibles
2. Toy Story 4, I can wait.
I don't
I can
know
hold
why.
on. I can hold off on that for now. I don't need anything
Why?
for that yet.
Why?
Because they can.
They can. It's
Yeah,
a,
but
it's
Toy
a
Story
big-
3 ended on
I know.
a good note. There's no reason to do a fourth.
Yeah, but their shorts have been really good.
Doesn't matter.
I
ki-
can see. I
and
can
kids
see the
love
stories
it.
keep going.
And kids love that. And
Only because they're not with. You've seen Toy Story 3, right? It's been long enough. I can like spoil this crap.
we cried at the end of it.
We did cry at the end. Have you seen Toy Story 3?
No, but don't worry about ruining
Okay.
it for me.
So like the toys aren't with Andy anymore, and they're back with a younger
And that
child.
was a sad moment.
It was a sad moment,
It was
but
a-
it is a soft reboot to.
For the younger
They've
kids.
introduced new toys. They've introduced the girl from like they're in a new household.
And you think about it, it's like passing off the movie from our generation
Yep.
to a new generation.
which is
So with
exactly
all
what
the
that
tech
did
and-
because that stupid kid next to me was not crying and gave me funny look because I was crying. So that's fine.
I'm gonna punch
He
him.
just doesn't understand.
He wasn't there. He wasn't,
He wasn't
there.
there. Because yeah, that was a really good moment in Toy Story 3, and that's fine.
And I would have liked that if that's how it ended.
For you, it can. You don't have to see Toy Story 4.
Well, I'm going to.
Well, then why are you complaining? For all you know, it could be a wonderful movie.
I would have been happy with it just ending on 3. I'll go see 4, but I would have been happy.
That's
with
what people said about Cars.
No,
I'm excited for Cars 3.
I don't think.
I haven't seen it
Cars-
yet.
If you look at Cars
out.
1 and 2,
Oh, yeah, it is out.
It is out.
like, that was a drastically different movie.
Yes.
Yes.
2 different ones, and
They made a drastic error in number 2.
Oh, you mean
they
making
went,
it?
they went with
You mean making it?
Mater too much.
Well, that's
I-
because Mater sold his own short cartoons.
Full disclosure, I haven't seen Cars 2. So,
It's
I
so
don't know.
old. And
They become spies.
Okay. Done.
Um,
Done. No,
Mater-
there's no
Mater
there's no
becomes-
racing.
I've watched that
Mater
movie
becomes a
100
spy. There's
times.
race. So
There's racing in it
Lightning
still?
McQueen is a race. Like he's still racing.
Okay.
And has no idea what's going on. As Mater is a secret agent through the rest of the movie.
That
Yeah.
sounds terrible.
And I found that doing that spy stuff kind of.
It
away.
detracted a lot
Yeah.
from the. Yeah,
So if I heard 3 is we're back
it is.
To the
what
racing.
number 1 was.
Good.
Starring Nathan Fillion.
Yes. As the agent.
No.
Isn't he?
Three, he's the antagonist.
Oh, I thought he's the agent.
No, I don't think so. He's the opposite racer,
No.
isn't he?
Yeah, I thought he was.
Thought he was
I
the
thought he was
opposite guy.
McQueen's agent.
He's an agent.
Yeah, he's McQueen's agent.
And Armie Hammer is
Oh,
Yeah, that's what I thought.
is
yeah.
the antagonist.
Lone Ranger.
Yeah.
So, what else came out of their animation panel? I'm trying to think.
They're
Something
working
else.
on something new. That's all they kind of.
Yeah,
said.
yeah. There's a new untitled Pixar project that's
Yeah.
not Coco.
It's not Coco, because Coco's titled.
Well, also a trailer and everything. So, also
Hold on, here I can.
because I think they dropped like 9 or 6 or 9 different like
They're
movies.
gonna have a panel with their live action stuff too.
I'm
Live
ex-
action, yeah, that's going on today.
I saw the D23 schedule, and I'm really excited to see that Gravity Falls got its own panel. So
There
excited!
was
That.
I don't know if it's part of their stuff, but their Star Wars
Edge
section of Disneyland.
Edge of the Galaxy or something like
Yeah,
that.
that's gonna be super. That's gonna be super
A
slick.
couple pictures popped up of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've got the model for the theme. You're talking about the Star Wars land at
Yeah,
Disney,
yeah,
right?
it's- yeah.
Yeah, they've got the model for that now, and some
What-
concept art.
What planet are they using? Or are they just using a generic?
They're- Edge
They're
of the
using a
Galaxy.
new planet, but what I read is that they did a lot of research into where exactly they were positioning the planet. So where they have it actually on the galactic map is important. They took into consideration like I assume things like location around core worlds versus hut space, trade routes, that kind of thing. So whatever they did, they are like fully immersed in
That's a
going all
totally
out on
separate
it.
thing. Yeah.
And it kind of goes in line with what they're trying to do with the theme park overall, is make it an immersive experience where you are actually experiencing a story. Like, it's almost, for anyone who's seen Westworld, it's almost like they're doing as close to a Westworld thing as we can right now, where you're going in there and you're actually participating.
Disney's Imagineers are getting quite a bit like that, because even the Avatar land in Disney World is supposed to be like that. Like, you walk in and you're...
I'm curious if anyone cares about Avatar Land.
I know, I feel really bad
was
for
our
Disney, because Animal Kingdom in Disney World is separated into like different kind of sections based on animals. So they've got like Everest and like that part of the world, and they kind of have an underwater little section with Nemo. And then if you go over this way, it's like the African safaris. And then another part was dinosaurs, because they wanted to focus on like prehistoric animals and that kind of stuff. And Dinosaur Land is atrocious.
Okay.
Like, they still have a ride there from the John Travolta dinosaur movie.
There's the John Travolta.
Yeah, I was going to say, there was a...
Yeah. It was a live action like CGI movie, and the dinosaurs talked. I think it was called Dinosaurs.
I don't know.
Either way, it was bad, and they were all running from the asteroids falling from the sky. It was like a really bad Land Before Time. But either way, like, that's the ride that is in Dinosaur Land, and that's the main focus of the dino part of that park. And it's just like, this park is, other than the safari, because you actually can go in they have an animal sanctuary.
Okay.
And they take you through in a Jeep, and you see what you see. So if you go at different times of day, you actually see stuff.
Oh, good.
So
They kind of spoiled it already.
A little bit.
So like, you know, you can see a giraffe, and you can see lions, and you can see all that stuff, but you're in the little Jeep. So the safari part's cool, and they actually have built it to look like parts of Africa, and they have dancers and all sorts of stuff. That part's built really well.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they're like, we got the rights to Avatar, when Avatar was Avatar.
Yeah.
But it takes them so long to actually build the theme park.
And they've been talking so much about the movies, but they haven't released anything.
I
Like,
know.
are they filming the second and third one? I don't know. No one's seen anything. And, like, it's been so long with...
Does anyone
so
actually
much-
care about
Well, that's
Avatar?
the thing. There's, like, if they had said nothing about it at all,
And then just
came out with it, that'd be one thing. People would probably care. But they've just been constantly giving us
James Cameron
updates,
won't let
like,
it go.
That's James Cameron.
It's
4
2
movies.
movies, now
Or
it's
the-
3 movies, now it's 4 movies, and it's like, you haven't shown me anything from the second movie. I don't care.
Yeah, give me one movie, like another one,
Yeah.
please, before you even start talking about more. But yeah, Disney, I kind of felt bad, because they obviously signed the contracts to get that park. I care about Avatar.
Okay, you're the one person.
All right.
Depends on which Avatar.
Well, it was a good movie.
It's a very-
it's
very-
just, it's kind of lost its...
It's just lost a lot of its
Lost
go,
it,
just because
yeah.
of James Cameron, like you say, continually like...
gonna
Avatar's
do
still,
it.
we're
I'm
still,
gonna do
it's
it.
still going, guys. It's still going. And
James
it's like,
Cameron's kind of stubborn that way too.
prove it.
It wouldn't matter
Some
if
concept
it's like
art, some
15
like
or
a-
20 years after the first one that the second one came out. It's just, don't tell us about the progress unless there's something to tell us.
And my only part to
me a
actually
trailer.
wanting
Yeah.
to go to Disney World
Costumes
to
or
see
something.
like this Avatar land.
What
Pangea, I think it is.
don't care. Show us something.
No. Pandora.
Pandora.
Yeah.
To see this Pandora part of the park is just because they put so much work into it, where you are experiencing the story. You're walking through those jungles. You're walking like, and they actually have like stuff in the trees that you can see from like far away. The floating islands they've actually managed to pull off. And everybody's like, how? Like
we'll find out.
engineering. How do you pull that off? And with Disney, you don't actually ever get to find out, because that's just part of that whole Disney magic. Is like, you don't know how they pull off half the stuff they pull off. That's why they're Disney. But you're just sitting there going like, damn, like, good for you guys. But that's, the Star Wars experience is going to be the same thing, where you actually get to walk through and feel like you're there.
Well, and like the one thing that I was reading about online yesterday, and this is old news now, but there's a Millennium Falcon ride in there where you go in with a crew and you're actually piloting the Falcon.
Yep.
But part of the experience is it actually, like, it records how well you do, and you can go in the this is the description I read right off of an article, so, like, I'm 100% just stealing this information.
That's what we do here.
Yes.
We regurgitate for it.
But
Hello, Poland.
you can go into this cantina, and if you do a really terrible job on your flight, like, the barkeep might make a comment about that, and then all of a sudden there's bounty hunters after you. So it's kind of like, I'd be really
Disney
interested in seeing how it all plays out, because it's very much sounding like Westworld, where there's like different branches that can happen in your story depending on what you've done, and that sounds super cool, and I want to hear more about how that's gonna happen.
Well, see, and the cool thing with Disney too is when you go, they used to have buttons you could get. So if you were there for a special occasion, you wore a button. So it'd either say happy birthday or happy engagement, or, you know, it had little like wedding bells on it and that kind of. So people, when you got onto rides, knew, or when you went into stores, knew, or cast members would see it and they'd play it up.
Okay.
So like even when we met you meet Chip and Dale in Animal Kingdom or whatever it was, like they kept trying to like steal Jen. Like we interacted with those mascots for a good 5 minutes. As the person's taking pictures, like they have professional photographers that take pictures.
Okay.
And they have the little magic armband, so they scan that, and then your pictures end up, you can download them on your computer.
Oh, cool.
So for $75, they just take a bunch of pictures of you.
And they're your pictures.
For the 2 weeks you're there, and you just download them when you get home.
And you can upload them to Facebook.
But there's a bunch of us just messing around with like Chip and Dale. But the same thing happens when like you get stormtroopers in like the little section of Star Wars that they had there. Mm-hmm. They'll stop people and be like stormtroopers will stop, and they'll either ask something like that, or if it's a kid with like the happy birthday button, they'll stop and be like, "Happy birthday, sir," and just keep walking. Mm-hmm. Like Disney plays all that crap up, and now they've got the magic bands, which have like.
Some of them do sound effects now too.
Well, but it's not NFC. It's something a little bit stronger than that, because like NFC, you need to be pretty much contact to contact.
Well, it must be the same technology that they used in the Disney Infinity, because you can use a bracelet on Disney Infinity, can't you?
Yeah, they made it work that way. But like this one doesn't need contact to contact, because some rides know what car you're on. Like we had pictures that showed up from things where we didn't actually scan the damn thing.
Okay.
It's a tracking system.
It is, which is fine.
Yeah.
It's Disney. Like, let's face it, if I'm in their park and this thing's doing all that stuff for me, don't care.
Yeah.
But eventually it gets to the point where I'm sure something will show up on like a cast member, like their people's thing, saying like, okay, it's your birthday, or it's this, or it's that, and then they can actually pull some of that stuff off where... And especially Star Wars Land, if you get off that ride, you scan your score into your thing. Maybe you scan it in other places and it unlocks different things, that kind of stuff. So yeah, no, Disney's...
super connected. Everything on there.
Disney's kooky when it comes to actually playing up their lands and that kind of stuff now.
Well, this is also taking place in somewhere in the New Order time frame.
Yep.
And I guess you can also work towards either helping the... I don't know what the Rebel Alliance is called in the New Order.
The Rebel.
Rebels?
Are they still just the
I
Rebels?
think they're still just the Rebels.
The Rebels?
I can't remember. But either the Rebels or the First Order. And I'm going to be honest, I've never had any interest in going to Disneyland. I want to go to Star Wars Land, and I want to help the First Order.
I was
100%.
I was actually really surprised when they announced Star Wars Land and didn't just cut off a piece of Tomorrowland and put it in there. Like, they already have a future world thing.
Okay.
This is completely in a new area. Like, they got rid of a parking lot for this.
Looks big.
It's huge, and now they're out of... Disneyland is now, I think, officially out of room.
Yeah, they got to build upwards now.
They gotta start going up.
Or down.
Or down.
They're already down. Their secret tunnels are down there.
Yeah. Build
Down
below those.
mold.
Just go below those
Why
ones.
not just go both, guys? Like a sandwich.
Yeah, Disneyland is out of room, so Disney World is still the place where if they're going to expand, you're going to see the most expansion there.
I wonder if there's like a completely different plot of land and they can just bullet train you from one to the other.
They could. They have enough monorails, which they've moved around. Like, that's the crazy part to me about Disney is the millions they must spend.
But you know they make more.
Oh, yeah.
Every day they make that.
Well, but that's like, the prices for Disney are fairly expensive, but if you think of everything you get with that ticket, like we go to Arcade Days here in Edmonton,
Yeah.
which is a traveling, fair essentially
Yeah.
with rides.
Yeah.
I don't know how much the full day pass with unlimited rides
I
actually
think it's like
ends up
$50
costing.
bucks.
Yeah,
50
I
or
wanna
60
say
bucks.
something in the neighborhood of 50 maybe. Yeah.
50
Okay.
to 60 bucks.
So Disney for about 80 to 90 bucks
Yeah.
gets you into Disney for unlimited rides and fireworks and the
Yeah.
mascots
It's a
and
lot more.
like there's so much more in Disney
Yeah.
that you get, and it's just like, and they do this
Daily.
like they're never closed.
Christmas, open.
Well, because they have people that will work Christmas. But that's what I mean. Like and I mean there'll be limited hours and whatever, but it's just like people complain about the price, and I'm like,
It's worth it.
you're getting free fireworks, you're getting like
You're getting the spectacle, you're getting the entertainment.
sure.
Like, just having those actors alone.
For sure. All of the people in costumes or like walking around, even the cast members doing stuff is insane. And the fact that they have machines that pump out smells to make sure the place like
And the,
smells nice.
and the customer service there is seriously second to none. Like,
Oh, yeah.
it's amazing.
But you walk by like the bakery,
Mm-hmm.
it will always smell like cinnamon buns.
That's the best thing.
Is
That's
the
how they
best.
get you.
But
That's
you
how
walk-
they get you.
But you walk by another place and it'll smell like popcorn. And you walk by and you don't actually notice. It's a very subconscious thing where you're sitting outside going,
It's called Disney science.
well, but they know that now I smell cinnamon buns and I'm gonna go, I should
do
get
want
a
a cinnamon
cinnamon
bun.
bun. They're not
Do they
stupid.
pump out
I
churro
wonder what else
smells?
they have in that bakery. Maybe there's some other things I want.
Well, and then so now you end up getting a hot chocolate and a thing. But, and just what I've seen of, because Disney World has Endor kind of built
Okay, yeah.
before you get on the ride. So they have like the big walkers in the forests, and you end up leaving through a canteen off of the one Star Wars ride that they have there.
Okay.
That alone is very cool. So what they're going to do for an entire land is just
Yeah.
going to be like, I am stoked.
I want to hear more about what they're going to put in there because, like, what I know so far is there's some kind of a Millennium Falcon ride where
Yep.
you can pilot the Falcon.
Sure.
What that means, I don't know. I assume it's kind of a VR type thing where they're like the cockpit will have a screen.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it'll be like sitting in there using the joysticks and hitting the buttons and doing your
You're
thing.
hitting the three
There's-
buttons.
There's a ride, there's a ride in Epcot where they sit you in like an actual, like a spacecraft.
Yeah.
And it's I love how some of the old rides still use the old video. So it's Gary Sinise, who's like the leader of this like space program, and he's like, we need you to get to this planet, and da 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 da, and you're like,
I've seen Starship Troopers.
Yeah.
I'd be immersed.
but you're like, yes sir, I will get there. And you sit in an actual, so there's the easygoing ride, which does some of the movement,
Yeah.
and then there's like the full throttle ride, which I never went on because again I was with my wife and we're like, we don't want to be sick, so we don't know like, and it warns you like if you're going on this one, it's pretty intense. It's just like, okay. But as you get into the ship, each person gets a different monitor. There's 4 people on this ship, and you each have a different job.
That's cool.
So there's buttons and flicks and switches, but there's only like 3 or 4 important buttons that you have to press, like when Gary Sinise tells you to press the buttons.
Mhm.
And you still end up almost
Yes,
crashing
sir.
the damn thing. But I'm sitting like, I
Just
get
like
in
a
there-
real pilot.
Well, I get in there at 20-something years old when we went, and I'm like, I'm sitting in my seat, and I'm like flicking everything I can possibly flick.
Yeah.
Because it feels like you're actually in a. And this woman next to me goes like, "Are we supposed to be doing something?" And I'm like, "I am prepping the ship for takeoff. Thank you very much."
Meanwhile, in your head, you're like, I have no idea
What
what
I'm
I'm doing.
doing.
I'm flicking switches and hitting buttons.
It's like the dog meme. I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah. But that's what I mean. Like, yeah, if they do something like that for the Millennium Falcon, where it's only
Yeah.
a couple buttons that you have to press, but it's still like a really cool,
Press this to fire the torpedoes.
Sure. Torpedoes.
Yeah.
So
Space pedos.
But yeah, like they've got that, and they've said they have a cantina. I'm interested in seeing what other locations they populate Star Wars Land with.
So,
A Wrinkle in Time movie. Does anyone care about that?
No.
Yeah. No. Okay. That's what.
Frozen
talk.
2.
Oh,
That,
yeah,
okay.
Frozen
Well,
2.
no one cares enough about that. I guess kids care about
The
it. But
kids will care.
Kids will care. They shouldn't.
I mean, there's the.
They
I
should.
didn't care for Frozen.
Still
I
haven't
was,
seen
I
it.
was, that's
I
my
like
thought.
Frozen.
I liked it the first time. I appreciated it the second time. Got bored of it.
Seeing again,
Yeah.
we went to Disney World at the like one of the heights of Frozen fever,
Oh yeah,
and
Frozen everywhere.
while Hollywood Studios was transitioning out of a bunch of stuff,
Okay.
so they used to have like an American Idol stage, so you could go out and actually like it was pretty much karaoke.
Okay.
but you can go and perform. That turned into a Frozen sing-along.
Frozen.
They had a behind-the-scenes Frozen thing that you could go to. You could go and meet Anna and Elsa in this other place. The stage show that was there was Olaf's Summer Adventure or whatever like that. Like half of the park, because they're renovating and changing a bunch of
Wouldn't
stuff.
he melt in a summer adventure?
You
That's
haven't
part of
seen
the magic.
You haven't
Has he seen
seen
the movie?
Frozen, no.
And part of the thing is he's like, I'm having so much fun and it's so hot, I'm melting, I need help. And then Elsa comes out and starts like,
Okay.
At the end of the movie, he gets a little like snow cloud on top of
keeps
him,
him
a
alive.
perpetual snow cloud.
I've seen it once. It's been a long time.
You're not missing out then. Again,
and
you're not
again,
missing
to-
out on the second time.
to Disney's credit, the fireworks show in Hollywood Studios, because every park has their own fireworks show in Disney World.
Really?
Uh-huh.
That's
So
insanity.
Epcot gets its own, Magic Kingdom gets its own. The animal park does not get its own because they don't want to scare the shit out of the animals.
Surprise! Really?
Hollywood Studios got its own, so Hollywood Studios was Frozen themed.
Yeah.
So the night we were there, we went and saw the other. It's called Phantasmic, so it's not quite a fireworks show. It's more of a stage show with like water projections and some fireworks.
Mm-hmm.
So they had two shows going on almost at the same time. But as we're leaving, you hear like the "Let It Go" and the fireworks are going off in time to the music because it's Disney, and there's actually like an Elsa on a stage like doing this.
The actions.
Yeah,
For the
and as
fireworks.
she does, like, she's got her timing down because she does this, and the firework, like, pretty much launches
I wonder how much choreography that is.
A lot.
a lot.
Like how the amount of training. For
Again,
that.
I tell you, the amount you pay to go to Disney, I don't know how they actually make money.
It's all merchandising, food.
It has to be, because the amount they must spend on cast members and all that stuff alone is astronomical. Either way, we came at the tail end of this show, and after she finishes her song, it starts to snow in 40-degree weather in Florida. And I'm like,
This is so meta right now.
what how do? Like, I'm just sitting there going, because it looked like snow. It didn't even look like fake snow from where we were walking towards it. I'm like, it looks like it's actually snowing. And then it hits the ground and it's gone, and I'm like, what kind of sorcery is this?
It melts.
No, I finally figured it out because we went to see one of the other Frozen shows, and they made it snow inside of a damn theater. So it's just soap bubbles.
Oh.
But they've got the formula down to the point where it falls at the right like, as someone who knows what snow looks like,
We're pretty we're pretty
pretty well versed.
We're used
Yes,
to it.
we know what the snow is like.
But they make it snow every night in Florida.
Snow.
That's pretty awesome.
Not
Snow.
anymore because it's a Star Wars
Yeah.
show.
They'll
They've
just,
That'll
switched
be
over.
better.
Yeah.
have a Hoth section.
But they could, like, honestly, at that point. So,
Yeah. Anything else?
da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Updating a bunch of things.
Yeah, the live action panel, nothing really huge is happening right now. They've got a new Nutcracker movie coming out.
Yay. Mary Poppins new movie's coming out.
Yeah.
Not starring Yondu.
Not
this joke makes.
my Mary Poppins.
I would probably actually watch Mary Poppins if it was starring Yondu.
No, it's not. It's not even Michael Rooker. It's Yondu.
The Lion King is getting a panel.
Yep.
So that'll be interesting.
We'll see.
Live-
What
They
the
added,
live action
they
lion.
added Zazu.
Yes.
Yes,
Oh, yes.
John Oliver.
John Oliver is Zazu.
The perfect.
Yeah.
I can't imagine.
That seems to work.
That's the.
I will admit, again, in a movie that's essentially a CG cartoon now, I will miss some of the old voice actors. Like, Rowan Atkinson was great as Zazu.
Yeah.
Sure.
But John Oliver, I think, will also kill it as Zazu.
I think they're both. They would have both been a good
Yeah.
choice for that
So,
if if they thought about Atkinson.
yeah. So I'm wondering, like, the casting in that movie is the most intriguing part of that entire thing at this point, because I'm like, all they're essentially doing is redoing The Lion King.
Yeah.
We're just waiting on
But in CG. Scar.
Nala.
Nala,
Nala yet.
Nala and Scar.
Nala, Scar, the hyenas.
Yeah.
They've got James Earl Jones back as
Yes.
Mufasa.
If
right?
you're gonna get anybody back, like, honestly,
Yeah.
and like I keep saying, I believe Disney's just trying to get him to say as many words as they can possibly get him to say.
And as
We
many
can
different
make
inflections.
Darth Vader
Yeah.
forever.
When he dies, they'll just be like, "We've got enough audio. We're good."
Yeah.
Stan Lee was also presented with a
It's a Disney award. or-
Disney Legend Award, so he is now a Disney legend.
Him and Luke and Mark Hamill got that as well. Him and Jack Kirby. Jack Kirby received it as well.
I don't know. He's the only one, obviously, there, but
Well, no, Jack Kirby's
I know.
kind of dead. So,
Only kind of.
a little
Kinda.
bit.
But they got Stan Lee out to receive his award.
And you know what? I'm glad that he's in the place where he is right now. Like,
Well, that's everybody's like, why is he so happy? His wife just died a week ago, and it's like, because he's surrounded by people that clearly like
support him
and adore the hell out of him. Like,
Like-
I mean, I've seen him talk at the Calgary Expo a couple times.
And it's entertaining.
It is super entertaining because he's obviously getting up there, and he just does, and he admits it. He's just like, I don't even know what the question was. I'm gonna talk about the Hulk,
Yep.
and you're just like, okie dokie, Stanley.
Yeah, he's getting to that grandpa age where he can just spout out old
And he's Stan Lee.
stories.
Who cares if he
Yeah.
wants to talk? I'm gonna let him talk.
But you know what?
And his
What-
stories are still good.
They are still good because I remember what you're referencing.
Yep.
Like the, I think that it was like how he came up with the Green Goblin or
I think
something
so,
because
yeah.
he's always like for Spider-Man he's always done animal themes and Green Goblin wasn't an animal theme.
Yep.
And he just thought up Goblin or something like that, and he was like, I like alliteration, Gray Goblin, and then he goes into this spiel about how Gray didn't work on comic print at the time, and they tried that with Hulk, and it just, there was no consistency to the color, which is why they changed Hulk to green.
Yep.
And then he was like, Green Goblin, I guess.
Yeah, I know. Like, that's what I mean. Like, he goes into such weird rants. It's just like,
Yeah, I'm glad he's doing as good as he is.
and well, and then some of the people who are like hardcore Disney fans are like, why is he getting a Disney award? Like, he's not Disney.
He is now.
That's not the point.
And it's like, well, but the MCU's been part of Disney for
a good
10
decade
years.
now.
at least a
decade.
decade.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
If it wasn't for him and like Jack Kirby and
Steve Ditko.
yeah, like without those guys,
Yeah. So yeah, I don't care. It's an award that Disney gets to present. If they want to present it to like whoever they want to, go for it.
Yeah.
sure.
Jim Cummings still needs one.
Yes.
The caveat is he has to accept that entire speech as Winnie the Pooh.
Or Darkwing Duck.
I'm going to have to go with Darkwing Duck.
Or man,
He
what
has
was
to
his
come in.
character
He has to come in like Darkwing Duck. Then
What was his
just
character in,
poof of smoke with a cape.
Rescue Rangers. He
That'd
was
be awesome.
McCheese.
Okay.
He was Ed in The Lion King. He also did part of the singing for Scar in The Lion King. Because apparently, what's his nugget, who was actually Scar,
Yeah.
whose name I can't remember right now.
Jeremy Irons.
Thank you. It had a cold that day where they were filming like the song part of the thing. So he just stepped in and did it.
That sounds like
Because Jim Cummings can pretty much do whatever the hell he wants to do as a voice person. So
that's about right.
I'm interested in seeing who they do cast as Scar.
me too. Because who did they get as Shere Khan in the?
Idris Elba.
Yeah, just get him again.
He's
Every
he's,
CGI
give me
bad
another
guy.
one.
he's in permanent hire for Disney, isn't he now?
Or get Danny Pudi. Danny Pudi should get a role.
I think that they should make Scar Keith David.
Yeah,
That'd be
killer.
really. I'd love Keith Goliath from
Goliath.
Gargoyles.
Oh, okay.
What's his name from Community? Elroy,
Well, who's Elroy again? I'm trying.
the
to...
inventor in like the last season.
Oh, yeah,
That's
yeah,
why I
yeah,
don't know.
yeah. I was trying to think that name. Yeah.
Yeah, because he showed up on there and was just like, hey.
His voice is so good.
He did a voiceover in Community in one of the seasons too.
I think I heard that.
Are you the guy from the Cape? No.
Yeah.
Cruella. Apparently, we might see something from that,
Yeah, don't
Mm.
care.
Yeah.
starring Emma Stone.
Pass.
Other than that, we just have those lovely the Thanos statues, or the
Which
Thanos
they actually
statue.
they took down apparently.
Oh yeah,
They took down those 4 statues.
I
Like
guess
they're gone.
Yeah.
I guess
Like they're not showing us the statues
Nope.
anymore.
No. Is it like flat?
Marvel probably stepped in. No.
yeah. So now it's just
spoiled too
Thanos. Now it's just Thanos.
Maybe they took them away
To a
be-
stage or something, is my opinion.
Well, either to a stage.
If they're gonna take him to a stage, why
Or-
not just have the actors?
Well, if it's doing, well, have they done the Marvel stuff yet?
No. That's what I'm trying to keep track of. It's
If
just
Then
if
they
they
could have.
they don't necessarily like depending on what the reveal is. It might not necessarily be that they have the actors yet, which would be unlikely. But
because
it's possible.
usually if they have statues, they
Well,
have
if
an actor for
They've
it.
wrapped the filming, right?
Yes, but my thought process now is if it is the Black Order, which everybody's presuming,
It's a good
is
chance.
they're going to be CGI anyways. so your actors aren't really going to matter.
But at that
Because
point,
like that's great if you bring whoever's playing this character out on stage.
But
They're
usually-
still not going to be.
but usually when you have like a panel reveal like that, you have the actors come up and say, "Hey, what's
But
up?"
they can still do that and then reveal the statue.
Yeah,
That's what I'm assuming the statues have moved is to an actual stage.
we'll find out in an hour or three.
Or a Fantastic Four, we got the rights back.
That's like a 5% chance that's gonna happen.
See, but
Less than that even.
I personally, honestly think that would have a greater effect because
It would have a greater effect.
sure.
I don't know about anyone else, but
Oh, and
like,
here's-
as far as the Black Order goes, I don't know who the Black
And
Order
here's-
goes.
and
Like,
here's-
if they take off the,
Right. I'm going. Okay.
So
like, if
here's-
they take off the sheets, it's like I don't know, it's a bunch of people. That's
So the
fine.
reason why the
heard
Fantastic
the
Four
Black
rumors
Order
have been the reason why the Fantastic Four rumors have been swirling so hard late in the past 12 hours is because again, the statues, and when they were presenting Stanley his award, the little like montage of all the movies that they've done, they actually opened with Fantastic Four. They name dropped the Fantastic Four like 10 times in the presentation speech before they got to any of the other Marvel
Maybe.
stuff. So that's where a lot of
That
the
would be
rumors
huge.
are. That's where all the rumors are like. Why are you name dropping Fantastic Four so hard and none of the X-Men stuff?
Look,
Like,
and I mean, but
if
to
you're
be
gonna do-
fair,
if
if
you're
you're
gonna do all the
presenting to
Marvels-
Stan Lee,
yes, he's the first person who.
Fantastic Four were his first.
It's-
It
it's
really
true.
was.
Yeah.
It really was.
Like that's what kept him in comics. If you read
Right.
his
But then,
stuff.
like, if you think about all the other stuff that he's also done, like, why focus in on specifically F4? Like,
because that was more him than anybody else.
But they
whereas
also include-
Spider-Man was like him and Ditko, I think. Yes,
I don't know.
I don't know.
I think it was him and Ditko, and then like someone else was him and Kirby. Like a lot of
Right.
it was collaborate
Right.
stuff. I think the Fantastic Four were mostly him. I think,
So,
from what I remember.
but it's just weird to see that montage show lots of Fantastic Four stuff,
Yeah,
and that's where all those rumors have been piling up as well. It's
it'll
like-
be interesting.
Well, and apart from that, like, again, with the statues, if you reveal statues of some characters nobody knows, like, big reveal, a bunch of people that,
dudes.
okay, I'll see them in the movie. I've never heard of them before. I still don't know who they
And
are.
again,
whatever.
that's the piece. Like
But-
the Black Order, I heard of yesterday when all of a sudden
Yeah.
people were like, "It's clearly the Black Order," and I'm like, "What's a Black Order?"
I
And that
ended
was
up Googling
most of the
it.
questions online were like, "Who's the Black Order?" And they're like, "Well, Nebula and Gamora were only like two of his kids. He has more children essentially, and these are his
Thane
other
is
children."
one of them, and although I think Thane becomes good.
I don't know.
But
My
I just
understanding.
think that big reveal wouldn't be that big. They might as well just have shown the statues right off the get-go. And
Yeah,
it's
like
like,
the
yeah,
fact-
I still don't know who they are. But if it is Fantastic Four and that is the big reveal, all of a sudden, like, people are going to be talking about it because everyone's
That
gonna
will steal the
recognize
show.
that. Everyone's going to recognize
It's not even just that; it's just the expectation of the nerd community, the people who read all the comics, are like, "This is actually happening. This is that they did it."
Yeah.
Like nothing can stop Marvel at this point. If they can get that back, like X-Men, we're coming for you.
Or
They're
they're
coming.
doing what they did with Spider-Man, where they're still going to be produced by Fox and or whatever, and
It could be a shared deal, which is fine,
Yeah.
but that's a stepping stone, right? So
but that would add
It's a
so
s-
much.
It's a stepping stone to Doctor Doom finally getting done properly.
Yep.
And that's really what this is all about. The end.
what if one of those statues is Doctor Doom and none of the Fantastic Four?
No,
All the statues are Doctor Doom.
Yes.
he has different versions of
He's.
himself.
You think Iron Man's the only one with different suits?
Right now they're talking about Mary Poppins. I found a live feed, guys.
I'm on that feed too.
We're on Mary Poppins Returns. So,
Is it that coming soon.net website?
yep.
Yeah, I'm on that too. Nothing.
Nutcracker and the Four Realms.
What's that? Cheers from Poland?
Yeah.
Woohoo!
Hello, viewer in Poland.
I want to go there. That sounds like a fun place to be. Poland.
I know very little about Poland.
I just want to go somewhere like wildly different than here.
Fair enough.
Like just culture shock. So,
I think that's.
do we want
it.
to? Yeah. Do we want to
That's-
stick around? Like, I mean, we'll catch
No.
something in the post-credit show.
If
we
stuff
bring it
stuff
up next
happens and
week.
we're post crediting, yeah, then
Yeah,
otherwise,
well,
yeah,
next
come
week,
back
too.
next week to find out more about the D23 Expo and everything they announce
Yes.
in relation
Trailers
to pretty
will
much
probably
Star
be
Wars and
leaked.
Marvel.
Trailers will leak.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Hydra.
Hell.
A Hydra movie.
No,
Were there the
the
good
last
guys?
time they released a trailer, they were like, trailer coming in like 2 days, and then it released like 10 minutes later. And Marvel's just like, and Marvel, like, even their Twitter and all their, like, social media were like, oh, Hydra's at it again. And they just released the HD trailer. Like, at least they played along with it. They didn't, like, cease and desist anything. They're just like, well, it's out there now. Here's
Yeah,
the
it's like,
HD.
it's going to come down.
And then they just played along with it. And I'm like, kudos to, like, whoever ran that little marketing thing was, like, spot on.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, Hydra, if you're going to release it, at least release the good quality version. Like, so...
Cool.
Either who.
Thanks for joining us today on our podcast outdoor newscast.
Yeah. Stay tuned for our post-credit
Outdoor
show.
cast newscast. Outcast. The Outcast.
The Outcast. Where
It's a horror game now.
stay tuned for the post-out credit show.
Outcast.
Yes. Either way, where we
Outcast.
talk about all the
Things.
movies and games and other things we've been doing for the last week.
If you like what you saw, go to our website.
www.barrelrollnews.com.
You find all of our social media links on there. Well,
Yeah.
most of ours, anyways. I don't know if you have any, but
No.
no, then that's fine. You can find our links to our Discord channel there,
Yep.
Facebook,
Yep.
Twitter,
Yep.
all that
Even
fun
our
jazz.
Steam stuff. Come play games with us, yo.
We play video games.
We do. We have a Patreon too. www.patreon.com/BRNN.
Take a look at some of the dumb rewards that we have going on there, as well as exclusive Patreon Discord channel where you get to play games with us.
Yeah, and talk with us. Because
words.
what's more exciting than that?
Nothing.
I'm
Ross.
excited. I'm excited. You should be excited.
So either way, thanks for watching. Join us soon.
5 minutes ish.
Bye.